We want to talk to you about the biggest story in baseball happening yesterday. That is where we begin our brushback. And unfortunately, it has to do with Jacob deGrom. The news out of Arlington, the two-time Cy Young Award winner will miss the remainder of the season with another injury. deGrom will undergo surgery to repair a tear in his right ulnar collateral ligament. Rangers executive vice president and general manager Chris Young didn't specify if the procedure would be Tommy John surgery or another surgery, but either way, he's done for the year. Here's deGrom on the news.
I went through this before and, know what it takes to get back. So that's the goal. Go out there, rehab as the best I can. And the goal, I'm going to set a goal to try to be back next year, towards the end of the year. So work towards that and to not be able to be out there and, help them win. That it stinks. So this is what we love to do. And, finding this out, coming here, wanting to be out there and helping the team, it's a disappointment. So, that's where you feel like a letdown. You're letting those guys down. But, we have, Dane stepped up and done a great job, and the pitching staff's unbelievable. So, be here and root them on. That's all I can do.
Really hard to see that coming from Jacob deGrom, obviously emotional. So where do the Rangers go from here? This year's pitching market looks like it could be relatively weak. At this point in the season, with the exception of a few clubs, we don't know who's going to be buyers and who are going to be sellers, particularly in the Central divisions where right now a number of teams could be in contention. If the Cubs decide to be sellers, Marcus Stroman could be traded. He has an opt-out of his contract after this season anyway. Stroman is having a good year, a 6-4 record and a .239 earned run average in 13 games. Will the Brewers trade Corbin Burnes? He still has 2 more years of control, but it's unlikely he resigns with Milwaukee after the arbitration mess. Burnes is 4-4 with a .375 earned run average. Milwaukee is in first, but only by a half game. The AL Central is up for grabs. The Tigers might decide to go for it. Why not? It's a close division, but if they don't, Eduardo Rodriguez is a trade target. And don't look now, Guardians fans. At some point before he becomes a free agent after the 2024 season, Shane Bieber is likely to be traded. This year's deadline could be when they pull the trigger. And Lucas Giolito of the White Sox is the single most likely pitcher in the bigs to be traded by the deadline. And how about this? Before the season even started, Evan Grant, who covers the Rangers for the Dallas Morning News, raised the possibility that if the Angels make Shohei Ohtani available at the deadline, the Rangers were a very likely suitor. Will or won't Shohei be traded? Shohei is always in the conversation with Aaron Judge about who was the best player in our game today. Judge is our next topic. Since the Yankees captain has landed on the injured list with a contusion and a sprain of the ligament in his right big toe, suffered the injury on Saturday after running into the outfield fence at Dodger Stadium. He missed 2 straight games after the incident and is now on the IL or headed to the IL after receiving x-rays on Monday. Judge was just getting hot again. In 49 games, he was hitting .291 with an AL leading 19 homers. And if that wasn't enough for the Yankees, Aaron Boone also announced that lefty starter Nestor Cortez could be joining Judge on the shelf after dealing with shoulder soreness. He received a cortisone injection on Tuesday, and he won't throw for at least 10 days. A 3-2 loss to the Chicago White Sox last night has the Yankees 7.5 games behind the division-leading Tampa Bay Rays, good enough for third in the AL East. In the NL East, it's always a good matchup between the Braves and the Mets, and Tuesday's contest was no different. Entering play last night, Atlanta had won 3 straight, and the Mets had dropped 3 in a row. No score until the bottom of the second when Ozzie Albies hit a solo shot to get the Braves on the board against Carlos Carrasco. You just saw this right here, top of the third with Bryce Elder on the hill. You could see the monkey fly off of Francisco Lindor's back. Finally, his 11th home run of the season, and then Pete Alonso serving up the popcorn there because he hits a 2-run shot, the second of the inning, and you can see him there basically telling him to throw it again to Bryce Elder. But you know what? He didn't just let the bat do the talking, because here we go. Bottom of the 6th, Carrasco still on the hill, threw it again. Sean Murphy drives in 2 on the double. The Braves aren't dead yet. Then Marcell Ozuna drives in the tying run in the 6th inning. This one off of Drew Smith. The Braves take the lead on an Orlando Arcia double. Bottom of the 8th, Ozuna would then have an RBI grounder. Raisel Iglesias gets the save, and the Braves come from behind and win the game 6-4. Be careful what you wish for, Pete. So you heard him say throw it again to Elder. And then you see the Braves saying throw it again as well. The Braves getting the final laugh in this one. They now have a 3-game advantage over the Marlins in the division.